Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and I've been getting so many requests to use these images. Here is the first video using them. Rather than make a card, I thought I would do something different. So these images are from the Greeting Farms. There's 3 newer stamp sets called Your Wings, Hello Unicorn, and Magical Day. And I'd shown these in a haul video a little while ago, not too long ago. A friend sent them to me with the coordinating dies as a gift and totally made my day. I do have the original set, but I don't have the dies for that set, which I actually, as of recording this video, I just ordered the dies because I want to make more like this, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. What I did is I took these little pony images and I inked them up with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and I stamped them onto some Nina Solar White 110 pound cardstock. And I wanted to use a Copic friendly ink, which the Simon Says the new Intense Black is Copic friendly. And then I'm coloring them all in with my Copic markers. And I super sped up the coloring because it's pretty self-explanatory for the most part. I go back and forth when I do coloring with Copics. For the longest time, I went lightest to darkest and then go back and blend. Lately when I do my Copic coloring, because I don't have very much time, I start with my darkest color and then I blend it out to the lightest. It just saves me some time. I don't have to go back and forth as much, and it just works for me. So with all of these, I started with my darkest color, I went to a medium color, and then I went to my lightest. And at the end of the video and on my blog post, I will have a list of every color I used. I kind of stuck to using the same colors, like the pinks I use on this middle unicorn, I used on the first one. And obviously I'm coloring them to look like certain little characters from a certain TV show. I have a couple of children in this house that absolutely are obsessed with that show. So these images, of course, have been very popular. When the Greeting Farm released them, they sold out in a few hours. So I was so excited to get my hands on them. And funny little side note, rather than Googling the images to figure out which colors to color these, because they have to look a certain way, I have a little t-shirt that I picked up for Caitlin that was actually folded up right beside these images here that I was using as my reference. And I only say that because it was just funny, because once these were all done, my oldest daughter looked at them and she was like, "Mom, how did you know what colors to color these?" Because I have become old and out of touch with, what's hip and cool apparently. And then she saw the folded up t-shirt sitting on my desk and she just kind of looked at me and was just like, yeah, mommy might not pay that much attention, but I know I can figure things out. So anyway, I colored all these guys in. This last one, of course, is my absolute favorite, and that is also the favorite character of Caitlin's. We have multiple little stuffies and toys of Rainbow Dash in this house. Like, before she could even fully say Rainbow Dash, it was Bow Dash. Another little side note. So this one was fun. So I colored in the body doing some shading, and then just for all the rainbow parts of the hair, I just used one color. I didn't bother doing any shading, and I did that with the second one too. I just used one marker for each color rather than using multiples like you could and get some beautiful definition. But yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. So I just colored them as is. And most of the shading, other than on that first one's hair, all the shading I just did on the bodies. And then, of course, I had to add some shimmer. These needed to sparkle. So I'm using my Clear Overlay Spectrum Noir Sparkle Marker. I've done a review on these. I've used this one multiple times. This first one, I just shook it up really well and applied it right over top of everything. I was just going to do the hair at first, but then I was like, no, I have to do the whole thing. And then I gave it a little bit of a squeeze because I wanted even more shimmer, and you're going to see, without even me turning the flashlight on my phone, you can just see how insanely shimmery this becomes, which is super fun. So I coated all of these, and I went back over the first one a little bit more too, just to add a little bit extra shimmer. And with these, because it's going over Copic markers, I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't reactivate anything because Copics are alcohol based, and these shimmer markers are more of a water base. I'm not exactly sure what's in them, but yeah, it doesn't reactivate Copics at all. So I completely coated these entire images with a ton of shimmer. I didn't add any other sort of embellishment. I wanted these completely flat, and you'll see why in a moment. But once I was done coating them all completely, I'm going to light up my flashlight on my phone so you can see just how sparkly these are. How fun is this? Love. So once I'm done with all of that, I'm going to trim out each of these just with scissors. I just wanted to cut off the excess cardstock. I'm not going to trim these out with the dies just yet. I just wanted to trim them down a bit so I can fit them through the new to me Xyron Creative Station Lite. Xyron actually reached out to me and sent this to me, and I was super excited to get it. I've shown the little X in recent videos, and I've had my little Xyron X for years, and I've never gotten a bigger machine. I just never got around to it, I guess. I don't know. So when they reached out to me, I was like, of course, I totally would love to use it. And it's so easy to use. Absolutely love it. They're not paying me for any of this. Like, these are my own thoughts and opinions. So I got the laminate and magnet refill cartridge with this too. You can get like all different ones. There's, you know, the permanent adhesive, there's a laminate, there's a repositional, and then there's this laminate with magnet. And at first I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But then I started thinking, and I was like, I'm going to make magnets for Caitlin. She loves sitting at the fridge, you know, playing with magnets. What kid doesn't? And then this whole idea of creating little pony magnets for her. So I pulled out the permanent cartridge that was in there. You can just see it's like their other little machines like the X. You just pull it out and pop in the new cartridge. Super easy. And then I inserted 2 of these little characters. It's got about a 5-inch wide opening here. And then there's a little handle on the side. So you just start to rotate it and it feeds the images through. So I kind of did a little bit and then inserted the 3rd one there. And I was doing this really, really quickly. If I'd had more time and wasn't like racing the end of nap time, I would have either trimmed these down a bit more or lined them up better, because I was like, I wasted extra magnet on each side of that 3rd one. So normally I would like line things up a little better and, you know, conserve the magnet. But I was, literally racing nap time. So once I was done running that through my machine, this is when I took the dies and I adhered them into place with just some micropore tape. So I adhered them over each image with a tape so that holds them into place so that the dies aren't going to shift at all. So got those into place, and then I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And I wasn't sure if the dies would cut through the magnet. The magnet isn't super thick. Like, it's a thin magnet, so I was like, oh, it should work, but I wasn't sure. This is all an experiment on my end. I don't have the time to like experiment and then film. So I put it in my Big Shot and just standard cutting plates that I used. Like, I had my magnetic plate, cutting plate, my little magnets that I'm creating, the dies, and then the cutting plate, and it did cut through. It didn't look like it, but then when I like pressed against them, they popped right out. So I'm super excited about that, because that just saved me a ton of time, and that's why I'm going to get the dies for that other set, which I'll link to if I remember. But yeah, these created the funnest little pony sparkly magnets. So make sure to head on over to my blog. I will have links to everything, as well as a giveaway, so check that out. And yes, I'll have the links to the pictures with the Copic colors, all that fun stuff, so check that below if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!